Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to AvaTrade live Q&A webinar. My name is Daniel, and I will be giving you the webinar today. Before we will begin, traditionally, we're going to have a quick sound check. Please, guys, comment in the question section to let me know that the sound is okay for you. And of course, if you can comment that the chart is visible, what could be better than that? Okay, so please just comment in the question section that the sound is okay and that you can see the screen, and then we can begin. Okay, I'm going to check it from my end. Okay, just to be sure. Okay, it seems like it works. Guys, the sound is okay for everyone? It is. Okay, that's good. That's wonderful. So we're simply going to begin. Let's go through the structure of the webinar, how it's going to happen in every step. So firstly, we will have the common questions that we've gathered from other webinars and previous live Q&A webinars and so on. Then we'll have the dynamic questions. This is the majority of the webinar, guys. The opportunity that you have on this webinar is to get the answer for your questions live on the chart. So you can ask whatever you want if it's related to trading or the platform or the website or the services. Of course, I'll do my best to give you an answer live. And you don't have to wait for anything. You're just going to put it in the question section. Unlike other webinars, which you have to raise your hand and wait, you can just paste your question and hopefully I can answer it accordingly. Okay, on the last part, before the last part, we'll have some information sharing, some links which I'm going to provide you with, and then lastly, analysis. Okay, but analysis is something that comes as an addition, and the reason is that it's very probable that we will have questions about analysis. But if we don't, so we'll cover up some of the analysis. Okay, so, and of course, it's important for me that you'll know that the webinar is recorded. So even if sometimes you couldn't fully grasp after one explanation or even twice, it's okay. You can still see the webinar again on our channel on YouTube. Okay, let's go through the lovely disclosure here. Any capital markets and trading information disclosed in this webinar is provided for informative purposes only. It should not be constructed or applied as an investment advice, a recommendation, or a suggestion. Okay, just to make sure that the webinar is indeed recorded, I'm going to disappear for a few seconds and then I'll be back and we can begin. Okay, so I'll be right back. Thank you very much. Well, everything seems in order. We are just gonna, let's just hit the road. Okay, so we're gonna begin with the common questions. As I said, let's just review the common questions. How does entry, this is the first question, how does entry optimization works? Okay, it's a lovely one. I don't think that we had it in the concept of this webinar. How can I withdraw my profits? Okay, this one we had. I just funded my account and I need help. How do I start? Okay, I'm not sure. Okay, what is support and resistance? This one is easy. How does the leverage works, or how does leverage works? Okay, I think we can keep it this way. All right, beautiful. So those are the questions that are provided by our team, which we are going to answer. Those are the questions that we will have along the way. Anybody has any questions before we will even begin? Let me in the meantime. Of course, I would appreciate if the questions will not be similar to the answer for those questions. Otherwise, there is no really point on asking them. Okay, so that's gonna help us. We're gonna have our little draft over here. How does entry optimization works? But perhaps we should begin with the simplest one. Okay, this one is going to take us 10 seconds. I just want to make what I can make briefly, and then I'll have more time with you guys for my explanations. Can I withdraw? Okay, so we're going to begin with that. We're not going to go by the order. How can I withdraw the funds? Let me just switch. This is a demo account. As you can see, it's a demo account. Let me just switch to a real one so I can show you. I think it's pretty self-explanatory that we can't withdraw from the demo account, but if somebody doesn't know that, you should know. Okay, the money's in demo is just a simulator. Okay, so that's my real account with 100 quid. Okay, I'm gonna click here if you want. Oh, just to clarify, to get to here, this platform, all I have to do is to log into the website, right? Log in to avatrade.com. That interface doesn't require me to download anything. I'm just gonna log into the website straight away. I'm supposed to see that. There are more interesting things over here. Okay, but for right now, to show you how to withdraw, it's not really necessary, but in a minute, I'm going to show a little more about the platform. Okay, but just on a nutshell, so the first step to withdraw the profits is you log into the website. Okay, then I click here on the three blue lines on the upper left, and I'm going to go to withdraw. After I click on withdraw, sometimes you gotta give it a minute. Okay, we're gonna give it a minute. Okay. Sometimes maybe we need a bit more patient. Okay, and it's gonna show me the options which I can withdraw with. We're gonna go with the basic one, so wire transfer. Of course, I could just as much choose the card if I deposited with a card. Okay, but since we haven't, so the wire transfer could be the best options. I'm just gonna put here 50 quid, not 100. Of course, I can put more, but then the system. There you go. Please enter a payout. See, I'm gonna put 50 quid. Beneficiary, that's gonna be my name, bank IBAN. Everything needs to be filled, and then it's not gonna complain. Right now, it's going to complain because I'm missing information. I click next. That's it. Okay. Any questions about how to withdraw? Even though, again, this is very, very basic, but still, any questions? Any questions, Scott? How long does it take? That's a good one. Thank you, Shamil. Typically, it takes up to could be a few days, couple of days, maybe 3 days, but it could, with wire transfer, it could be a bit more. Could be maybe a week, maybe even up to 10 days, but typically it could take a couple of days. Okay, if it's yeah, so let's just carry on. I think this is pretty simple. There is no need to delay. Let me just switch back to the demo account. Okay, there we go. That's regarding that question, how can I withdraw my profits? So simply log into AvaTrade. Will you also show us how to trade an MT4? I could. If more people here wants to learn how to trade with MT4, so I can definitely give you one on the MT4. It's just people hasn't requested that for a long time, so I carry on with the website. Anybody else wants me to show on MT4? Anybody else is interested to learn how to use MT4 and not the web trader? Mr. Shlomo Friedlander. Okay, all right. So how can I withdraw the profits? That was brief, so I'm just gonna log into the website and I click here, click on the 3 blue lines, left upper corner, then click withdraw. Okay, what could be easier than that? Do I need MT4 or just using AvaTrade is enough to trade? Well, that's up to you, sir. That's 100% up to you. You can choose whatever you want, and the platforms. Okay, there's Stephen Wendell. MT4, please. Well, look, I didn't know that there is demand for MT4. I can gladly show you MT4 maybe next time. I think for now it will be a bit complicated to switch because of the things that I must show you. It's a little easier with the website, but of course next time MT4. Okay, so this is regarding that question. How does that works? Let's see if we have another lighter question. Okay, that takes a bit time. What is support and resistance? This also takes a bit time, but maybe I can combine that on the first question. I just found in my account. That's pretty easy to answer. How does the leverage works? That's also, it requires a bit time. Okay, so we're gonna have the third question as our second question. I just found in my account. So for somebody, guys, help me out here. If you're a beginner, you just funded your account, you need help. I don't know, just funded my account. How do I start? I think that this makes more sense. I just funded my account. How do I start? Okay, so the first thing that I would do is make a plan, right? Even before that, this is an additional service that companies don't provide anymore beside AvaTrade. I'm not sure that all companies offer that, but contact your senior account manager. What are the significant differences? Let me show you that. Let me show you that. This is a lovely question by Sonny Boy. Thank you so much. Let me just paste here. A wonderful question. Wonderful question. We're gonna get to that. Okay, so the question that we took was how do I start, right? So somebody funded his account. Is he obviously a beginner? Actually, it's not written here as a beginner, but we're gonna assume. So first one, contact your account manager. Second, choose a market to focus. Make a plan. Okay. The third one is learn how to trade. Sorry, make a trading plan. Unless you already know. If you already know how to trade, so probably all of those are irrelevant because you already know. But if you're a beginner and you don't know how to trade, or you want to improve yourself, so you must learn how to trade, right? Make a trading plan, learn how to trade, become better with your strategy, right? So those things that I would do, and of course, once you have a good plan, you're making profits, you're okay with the strategy, the rest is really up to you, right? But those are the things that those are the most efficient steps that a beginner can take to move efficiently. That, to my point of view, I mean, everybody can do whatever they want, right? Just gonna paste that one underneath the question over here. Ooh, yeah, I kind of expected that to do that. Let's see if we can, well, that works quite terrifically. There we go. Okay, I guess one at the bottom not gonna kill us, right? If we could just change. Okay, how does it look now? There we go. You see, sometimes. Okay, right. So I just found in my account. How do I start? Sure. What is support and resistance and optimization? Who can tell me, first of all, what optimization, entry optimization? First of all, what is entry? Why do I have to optimize it? Well, what are all those things, right? Okay, so we have number 1 and number 4. That one, I will try and answer it. No, we're not going to do that at the same time. We're going to focus on those two, and then we'll speak about the leverage. Okay, so once I am logged into the platform, so watch what happens. I'm going to make, just a second, I'm sorry, I'm going to take a sip. All right, so when I'm logging into the platform, it's going to occupy the whole screen. So that means that the chart is not going to look like that. It will occupy the whole screen, and it will not allow me to see the lovely categories that we have here on the left-hand side. Okay, nor the list that I have here in the middle, which I can review. So what I must do, as you can see here, there are two tiny arrows at the upper right. When I click on those arrows, watch what happens. It's going to fold the screen down, and then I can decide with the toggle how far up or down I need the screen to be. Of course, there is a limit how much I can take it down, okay? Right, so let's, for instance, let's suppose that we would like to choose, what did I show you today? I think it was oil, right? Who was in the webinar yesterday? I think it was oil. I'm pretty sure 99% it was crude oil. What am I going to show you today? Let's go with agriculture. Wheat, maybe coffee. How is coffee doing? Yeah, not bad. Okay, so I didn't need to, let's suppose that I predetermined I'm gonna go with coffee. Let me just show you. I don't have to do all of what I did. I can just put it here in the search field, okay? But I decided to search manually if I wouldn't. Let's suppose that I already know what I'm planning to trade. So all I have to do is just to put coffee here. I click it from the list. It appears on the chart. And like I said, if I don't, I'm just gonna minimize and I can choose it manually from the lists. Okay, in a scenario that I already have it on the chart, there are two kinds of analysis, technical and fundamental analysis, which I'm going to explain about in a moment. And neither of them, maybe fundamental is not related, but technical analysis, to do technical analysis, I must get information from the candles. And right now, as you can see, if I'm hovering with my hand across the chart, I practically get nothing, right? I can click and drag. That's the only thing that this crosshair is allowing me to do. But if I change it to that crosshair, okay, I can click and drag. And as an addition, I'm going to get all of the information from the candles that I need. So that means that, look, I changed from no crosshair to the crosshair. And with this crosshair, if I'm pointing on the candles, this is previous week, okay, because those candles are now weekly candles. If I change it to days, so they will be daily candles. And then each day is going to show me, you see here, that's going to be the 23rd, 22nd, 21st, the 20th. Okay, and then the weekend is going to be blank. Okay, there is no activity during the weekend. And that's very, very good about the platform. Okay, so you must, those two actions, just make it the crosshair, and then the other action that I'm going to take is sell or buy to open the sidebar. Okay, then I can take a position. Now, let's recap that. So as I said, this is how it looks like. If I click here, sell or buy, it's going to open the search field. If I'm minimizing that, I can choose manually from the list. And if I change from the crosshair, from the regular one to the one with the cross, then I can get information from the candles. Okay, it shouldn't take more than 10 seconds. All the steps. How does entry optimization works? Who can tell me what is entry optimization? First of all, what is entry, guys? Entry. What is entry, right? When I'm looking at the chart, I have the chart. This is the chart. I'm looking at the chart. I want to take a buy. I'm gonna take a buy. What's with the entry? Right? Anybody has any idea? Even help me out, guys. Even more intermediate advanced. What is entry? Chloe, when you open a trade. Okay, so what do you mean by that? That I open a trade? Can you show us how would you choose your entry? Yeah, exactly, Simon. I'm about to do exactly that. But first, I'm having a little discussion to understand where my audience is at. So I don't want to say something that is too complicated and run too fast. Catherine, entry into the position. So Catherine as well as Chloe. So entry, why does that important? So let's suppose that I want to take a sell now. Okay, should I take a sell now? Why does it make any difference if I take a sell or I take a buy? Okay, and entry. Okay, so entry, I understand. Entry is where I want to open the position. Okay, so why does it make any choosing the optimum entry into the market? Okay. So when I'm trading, I can trade with the trend, right? Let me help you out here. I can enter with the trend, right? So that means that I can take, if it's going down now, let me switch 2 weeks, right? So I can trade with the trend. Okay, so that means if it's going down, I'll take a sell. At what point do I enter? Okay, that's very good. Analysis of direction, maybe, guys. The key ingredient here to choose the right entry is where is the safest, so-called safest place to take the position, so I can get to the numbers that I need, right? And what candlestick formation do you look for? Of course, I'm going to show you exactly that. So I can enter with the trend, I can enter against the trend, right? What's the other option? I can enter. What is the other option, guys? If somebody is going to write the right answer, I'm going to be very impressed. To hedge, maybe, okay? That means that I'm going to go against the trend, right? If I'm now with a sell, if I want to take a buy here, just as an example, let me skip one step forward, and then I will explain the logic behind what I did. Let's suppose that I want to take a buy here, right? Let's suppose that I want to take a buy 150. Okay, my take profit will be around where it's at right now. Let's say even, I don't know, 20, right? $20 up. And my stop loss will be around, let's say here, okay, for the sake of the discussion. Now we're going to explain. We will explain every single thing that I did to understand. Are we with a buy? Okay. Every single thing that I did, I'm going to explain. Okay. Whoever understood, okay, you can write down the answer. Who hasn't? So that's also okay, because like I said, I'm going to explain anyway, right? Yeah. Oh, sorry. That was not my intention. There we go. Who wrote buy limit? Psh, this is excellent. To wait for a better price. Well, that's very similar like buying something on the spot or buying it with a discount, right? A smart trader. Will a smart trader that's a very nice angle. Will a smart trader will buy at shelf price or look for a discount? What do you think? You go into the mall, you want a certain product, okay? You know that there is a chance you're gonna find the same exact product with a discount. Will you pay the full price or you wait for a discount? Okay, so I can enter after the trend. So, okay, whoever understood the meaning of what I wrote, amazing. Otherwise, I'm going to explain now. I've put some interesting lines here. Okay. All right, now let's talk. What is the logic? So I took, whoever noticed, I planned a buy. There are 3 pending orders which I'm using, 3 pending orders. One of them is stop loss. The other one is take profit. And the first is execute when price hits. Yeah. So what it does is it opens the position if getting to the price, right? Then those works exactly the other way around. It closes the position. We get this one. It closes the position if getting to the price. That's with a loss. That's the price with a profit. Okay. So in this scenario, guys, I'm about to take 60. Let's make it 100. Could we make it 100, or it will be too much? Well, let's make it 100. I don't think it's gonna be too bad. Okay, so I'm using 3 pending orders. I'm using a pending order to open the trade 150. So that means that it's not happening now. I am using a take profit to close the position at 170. Okay, so that means that I'm looking for what kind of movement? Am I looking for up or down? Guys, this is a tricky question, so be careful before you're giving an answer. Am I looking for a uptrend or a downtrend, or both? In this strategy, okay, are we looking for up, down, or both? Intentionally down and then up. Well, I would clap for you if I could. Very nice, very, very nice. So what you're telling me now, let's just explain. I want more people to answer, and then I will explain. Guys, did you understand? Let me put here. Good job. Okay. So in the strategy that I'm using, you see there are 3, like I said, I can sell, I can buy. This is obviously with the trend would be a sell, against the trend will be a buy, and after the trend will be a reversal. Okay. Let's examine this guy over there. Okay, let's make it on the focus. But first, just on a nutshell, so I can carry on with ease. Okay, let me put here resistance. Okay, and support. Okay. Now, below the price, how did you do that candle examination? I took the rectangle. I took the rectangle from here, then I clicked and I stretched. Okay, and then I can move it and I can adjust it. Okay, if I want to remember. Okay, so as I was explaining, the resistance is the highest point of every chart. As we can see, there are several edge points, 204.9, 196.6. I could also put one here, 185.75. And underneath this one, maybe, okay, never mind. Let's keep it this way. So underneath, we're gonna have the support line. So if this would be my room, this is the example that I'm using mostly, right? As you can see, I have the floor and I have the ceiling, so this is probably going to be my floor, my support. I have the first level. I can also have that, but it's a bit, I'm not sure if it's going to, oh, it did. Look how nice. This is the support line. That's another support line. That's another support line. Now, why does that make any difference when I want to trade? Who cares about support or resistance? So support and resistance are edge points on the chart, and when the asset is passing those points, could be related to something fundamental. Could be an event or a report or a government decision, interest rate decision, anything like that could make the asset pass the resistance or support. Sometimes it's a drastic movement, but it's fake. Okay, like that candle that we're looking at, which was the 9th of January, right? As you can see, this candle, if we could analyze it, which we don't have time for that, but maybe just on a nutshell, you know what, sure, just on a nutshell, I will explain about reversal. So as you can see, this is one of the support line. Let's paint it in white. And the reason that I, who knows why I'm buying here and I'm not buying here while it's 161, right? Who knows why I'm planning to buy here and not here? This is the entry optimization. Optimization means that I can buy here, okay? I can definitely buy here, no problem, okay? But because I think it still has a way down to the support line, so I'd rather feel safe buying it on the support line. Of course, things can go sideways, and first of all, there is no guarantee it will get to that price, right? What happens if it doesn't get to that price? Nothing, right? What happens if it doesn't get to that price, guys? Who knows? Nothing, right? Nothing happens. So if I have it as a pending order, till not trigger, exactly. So if I'm putting it as a pending order, and I'm looking at the what was my stop loss? 147. That was the, maybe we'll paint it in black. Okay. Right. So we have the black and white lines. Okay. So that means that my potential loss here is loss $300. Entry, let's entry 150, right? Potential profit is what? Profit is $2,000. Okay. Those numbers, guys, are they looking fine, or something doesn't add up? Something doesn't add up, or everything is making? Can you please explain why you put the stop loss there and not at the bottom of that support candle? Okay, we'll talk about it in a second. Okay, let me just paste your questions, Simon. I'm very impressed. Your questions are on point. Where can I paste it? Maybe over here. Oh, well, it worked magically. Okay, so you know what? I'm gonna answer your question now because I'm still on topic. We're not gonna wait until until we're getting there. So Simon asked, and justly, why not here? Let's try and move the stop loss to where Simon I guess this is the price you're referring to. I'm guessing. Maybe I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, so please tell me, right? But how did you get to 2,000 potential profit? Okay, by Shlomo. So $2,000 is an outcome if I multiply $100 by 100 units by $20 difference. So that means that if I buy at 150 and price goes up to 170, Okay, how much difference do I have per unit? 150 to 170. That's how much is that, Mr. Shlomo? How much is that? Why are you losing 300 when you put in 150? No, guys. We'll get there. We'll get there. That's not today. Today I've done the opposite. Usually I explain and then I do. Today I did and then I explain because this webinar is not for beginners. But still, how much difference do I have per unit if it's from 150 to 170? How much? Just give me an answer. 20. Exactly. Perfect, sir. You're doing well. $20 multiply 100 units, right? Pound of coffee, according to that, right? So how much is that? 2,000? Is that comparison, does that comparison works? Okay. Yes, exactly. When the die hit the floor, that's the best. Very good. Good job. Good job. Okay, so this comparison here. So Steven, who asked about, oh, Simon, you asked why I don't put it on the support line. Watch what happens when I moved it to the support line. Am I losing 300? No. How much I'm losing now? 800. 800 versus 300. 8% exposure versus 3% exposure. Okay, how many positions like that can I go wrong if I've made a wrong decision? How many positions? Exactly. So does that make more sense? It does. Okay. Very good. Very good. We are all making progress today. All of us are students, including myself, even after a decade of experience. Okay, so let's just recap quickly what happened. We could have if I wanted to buy, I could buy here. Should I buy here though? Why shouldn't I buy? You know what? Let me before we are disclosing this lovely couple of questions. Why shouldn't I buy in 160? Because I could, right? I could take 160, set similar take profit and stop loss. I just changed. I can take the same things and do it right here instead of 150. Okay, why shouldn't I buy in 161? Just as an example. It's a shame. It's still here. I can enter with the trend. I can enter against the trend. I can enter after the trend. So if I buy here, do I have any indication not enough reward? Maybe. Thank you, Catherine. That's not bad. If I buy here, is there any? Okay, so if I buy here, is there any assurance when it will, if it will turn around? Is there any reason for that to turn around? Let's examine the daily candles. Okay, as you can see, when was the last time that it's been? Previously, it was here somewhere. Let's see how long it took it. Long time ago, right? Long time ago. That was when? That was on January, right? So if I'm expecting it to turn around now, I must have a reason. Okay? All right. So guys, this is an example. Of course, nothing is guaranteed. You should keep in mind that whatever I'm doing now is all educational. You might also do the same things and have, it's not guaranteed you will succeed. But I just try and bring as much as logic as I can. This is a possibility. The market will continue on a slope. Maybe. Okay, thank you, Daniel. Thank you. It's a lovely input. Yeah, we're just gonna move on. Simon, did you get your answer? Did I answer it correctly? Can you explain why not to put the stop loss? Does that make sense? Okay, not completely. Okay, so let me just recap that, and if I could, beautiful. Otherwise, I'll have to proceed. If I do it this way, I have 300 in loss. So this position, which will take time, and I'm losing 300, I can be wrong twice. Okay, my potential growth is $2,000. If I lose this 8%, I'm already down to 9,200. Okay, so my exposure is more than double than in here, 147. And my point of view is if it breaks the support, let me show you that. Maybe what's missing. Can you see it a little clearer now? Can you see it a little clearer? You see that if it passes that point, I understand you're less exposed, but surely the market is more likely to go a little farther down and give you, could be, but then I can buy manually, right? If it proceed going down, what can I do? If it triggers the stop loss, and I'm not gonna buy it at 150, what could I do otherwise if it keeps going down? What do you think? Buy manually, exactly. You see, thank you, Samuel. Everything is doable, but I haven't lost 800. I only lost 300. Then I can just take another position, no problem. Because the first part of the analysis that I expected it to go down was right. Are you saying to re-enter? Yes, it's an option. It's an option, like Samuel said. Guys, we're gonna proceed. I don't want to waste the whole webinar on that example, but I think it was pretty educational. How does that work? So choose the safest place to enter with a worthy reward per exposure. Right. I don't know if that's understood, but I showed the practical side on the chart. So who doesn't understand that can just see the webinar again. Support and resistance, edge points of every chart from above, resistance from below, support, which is coming in levels and not individually, right? I hope that this makes sense. Can we minimize that? Yeah. Oh, the leverage. This is what we have left to cover. Guys, do we have any questions regarding anything that I've explained? Anything at all that it doesn't make sense, or something you want to share with me? Of course. Thank you, Matthias. Thank you. I'm happy that you find it interesting. Otherwise, let's see. It's yeah. Of course. Slowly, we're getting there. The key here is to have patience. How does leverage works? So leverage, right? How does the leverage works? Let's just make a little more sense. How does the leverage works? Okay. How does it work? So we are using the same example here. Maybe we'll use something else. Let's take NASDAQ. I get a lot of questions about NASDAQ and gold. You mentioned that we could rewatch on YouTube. Absolutely, Stephen, of course. Isn't it support and resistance subjective? Could be. This is why it's in levels. I can ask somebody, where is the support? Somebody's going to tell me here. Somebody's going to tell me here. Somebody's going to tell me here. Somebody's going to tell me over here. But in truth, there are all supports. There are all support and resistance. Look, we have signals provided by Trading Central. If support and resistance would be individual, we wouldn't have levels. We would just have a single support, which is here, 10486. Yeah, no problem, no problem. I'm happy to receive questions. If you don't ask, I'll have nothing to explain. So it helps everybody. Yeah, so you understand the difference is that if it would have been individual, we could just take that, right? But we could always keep arguing because I can change it to months and then somebody could say, listen, the support is here. No, it's not, okay? I mean, it is, but it's just not individual, okay? It's in levels. Yeah, so let's get rid of that. Thank you for the question, Daniel. Okay. All right. So, we must have that segment opened. Okay. So how does the leverage work? So how the leverage works? Let's suppose that this, let's make it 10, right? Would you classify in terms of major and minor support and resistance? Not now, not now, not now. Maybe at some other time. Right now, I do have to give an answer to that question because I am committed to to the common questions. Okay, so 0.1 with Nasdaq, 0.1, which equals to 10 shares, 10 indices. Right? Or indexes. How do you say it? Indices, right? 10 shares. And then what I have left is the okay, let me start from clean slate. To measure the leverage, I have it here. To understand how it means, I have to divide the value of my position to know the margin impact. Meaning, the leverage by itself is a multiplier, okay? And it lets you buy or sell more with the same balance, right? In other words, if I have balance of 10,000, okay, and my leverage is 1 to 20, I will have the financial ability to sell or buy as if I had how much? Let's see. Okay, 200,000. Why is that not correct? Why is that not correct? Because I have something called margin impact or requirement. Okay, which means the margin requirement is the required amount to open or hold the position. Okay. Now, how would I know that? How would I know? I'm gonna take the price per unit and multiply that by the units, and then I will have the value. Okay, so let's organize everything that we have here. The value here is 151,790. Okay, which is 15,176 multiplied 10. Okay, something doesn't make sense though. Okay, right. So yeah, it does make sense. Okay, the margin impact is if we divide that by 20, let's see what happens. 151,790 by 20. Let's divide that by 20. 7,589. I guess that we could round it. Nobody's gonna get upset. Okay, so this is the true amount that I need, and something here is missing. Oh, I'm sorry. Right. Okay. So does that make sense? Does that make sense, guys? Brooklyn, you're asking why am I dividing it by 20? Okay, Brooklyn, it's a good question. Who can tell Brooklyn why we are dividing the value by 20? Who can explain why did I divide the value by 20? To know the margin impact. Why did I divide that by 20? Because if this is the amount that I need, I'm not going to be able to take the position. No chance. I have 10,000. It costs 151,000. So for sure I can take this position. But I divided that by 2. Who knows why I divided that by 2? Let's look up here. An option to open a bigger position than your account balance by having your broker multiplying your investment amount. Okay, if I just read what in the light blue bubble-ish thing here, so that explains me exactly why. If I multiply it, I can just divide the value by what I multiplied with. So if this would have been, let me think of something. Just a second. Well, it seems like that also something that we worked with. Yeah, but that's 1 to 20, so it's not going to help us. Let's try Google. You see, so that's 1 to 5, right? So 1 to 5 means that we can divide it by 5. To every dollar, you have extra 20 backing it up in order to trade. Could be. Yeah, that's an interesting interpretation, Daniel. Thank you. But the real reason, as I've explained, is that I multiplied by the number that I have here, although I have to make sure that I have this to open the position. So that means that I need some collateral. I can just take 1 to 20 and that's it. I have to be able to take this position, I have to have 5%. 5% of the actual amount, right? Why 5%? Because we are dividing it by 20. And what happens if I divide 100 by 20? Right? 100. If I divide it by 20, what do I get? 5%. So when leverage, how can I give it to you guys? This is a little more primitive way to know the leverage, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, but still I'm gonna give it to you. If I divide the value by my leverage, so no, this is a little more, it's a little complicated to explain. 5% will be from the value, so that means that I must divide the actual figure by the leverage. I'm not sure that people will understand that. Okay, just know that when you leverage, if the leverage would have been 1 to 10, okay, so I would need 10% from the value. Okay, maybe I have time to show it with another asset. I don't think so. Never mind. Right now the platform does that for you. Just know that this is how it works. Okay, you can try and see the webinar again. Maybe try it with a different asset, and then you'll understand. Just know that you must have a certain percentage of your balance free to be able to use the leverage. Okay, I can't have free margin of $1,000 and a balance of $10,000 and to take this position. The reason is the balance is not going to change until I close the position. Okay, so this is a requirement to open the position. Okay, you must have 5% of the actual value to open the position. So this is why I divided that by 20, okay, which stands for 5%. Never mind, we don't have time for that now. We must keep on running. Keep on running. How does the leverage work? So it's a multiplier that allows you to buy or sell more units with maybe a little more, allows you to buy some, maybe more buying power. No, units with same balance. Okay. What do we have left? Okay, that one I think exposure. Sorry for the delay, guys. I should have put it down earlier. Possibility to re-enter versus 8% exposure. Yeah. Okay. Right. That's as an example. What is the significant differences between AvaTrade and MT4? Well, the first thing that I can think of, the higher the leverage, the bigger position you can take with less funds. Yes, but still, remember that there is a percentage here, the percentage of the value that you must comply to. Okay, keep in mind the leverage, you must maneuver with it wisely, not just to rely purely on leverage. Okay. The question that we have left by Mr. or Mrs. who asked about the differences, let me just quickly show you that. So one of the differences, the platform calculate margin impact leverage and value, which MT4 doesn't. You have signals, okay, provided by Trading Central. Enjoy economic calendar. Right, let me just show it to you. Okay. And there are many more things. There is Ava Protect, also one of the things. There are many things. Look, I would say that this platform doesn't really have any cons. I would probably say that only has advantages. But MT4 is very straightforward, and still, even though I'm using that platform, I still use MT4 as well for my own trading. So that is something that you must decide. It's a matter of flavor, just like going to a certain restaurant, but they're all great. They're all great. Pending order, it's a little easier with us, right? It's easier. It's easier to use pending orders, maybe I should say. There are many more things. I don't think that I actually have the time to count all the good things. Oh, I barely, because I was explaining about so many things, I nearly forgot about sending you the information. So I'm just gonna do it now, okay, guys? To be honest, it was way more important for me that you get the answer that for your questions. rather than to share with you the links, but it's also important. So we're gonna do that. Okay, that looks very good. Yeah, of course. With pleasure, with pleasure. Thank you for coming. I hope that I helped. Of course, Matthias, thank you. Good to see you again. Okay, so I'm just gonna share it with you guys. I'm pasting it in the chat. Catherine, you probably want to wait until I'm giving the coupon. I'm just gonna share it with you. It's only gonna take a minute. That's for the login and deposit. Because in a minute, I'm gonna give you a nice coupon to get a premium market review with your account manager, with a senior account manager. So that could be great. The academy to enjoy a lot of good videos, and lastly, the bonus, right? Special promotion code to get a premium market review with a senior account manager. That's an amazing benefit because you can get a good explanation of what's happening on the market on certain assets. That's it, guys. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for joining, and that's it. Make a lot of profits. Best of luck with your trading, and I'll see you again next week. Have a good day.